Hey guys, what's up? Matt here, and welcome to the episode of Coffees for Closers. A little bit of a different episode today because we're in lockdown.
Shouldn't you be wearing a mask?
Yeah, you're right. I also wear I'm not sure if you know, but when I sit on my couch at night, I also wear a seatbelt.
Okay, I wear a helmet, but that's to protect me from falling. You know, it has its value.
To be fair, you don't have very far to fall.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, yeah, good point. The hazmat suit's good too. So
So I'm in the office pretty much by my onesie. We have one other guy in here, so we're nice and COVID safe.
Yeah,
54 people in hospital in all of Australia, so therefore it's time to lock it down. Anyway, I'm not going to get into a rant.
We were negative.
I am actually a little bit sick, right? So you can hear my voice sounds extra sultry today. No, that's not a microphone setting.
Which is why I'm at home, because I don't want to catch his diseases. You know, he's got worse things than COVID.
Yeah. I got COVID like 22 right now. So I'm on that neck level COVID.
Living in the future.
You guys will get there. So welcome to the episode of Coffees for Closers. Apparently that's just going to keep happening. Anyway, let's cue the intro.
If you listen to this podcast, you will make your first million within 3 years. I'm going to repeat that. You will make $1 million within 3 years of the first episode you listen to. We don't want pikers. We're not here to save the manatees. We're here to make podcasts. You really want this. You listen and review.
Put that coffee down.
All right. So what are we going to go over today, Jimmy Jam?
Today we were going to talk about some of the recruitment stuff and
what?
As well as what you can do as the business owner when something like COVID happens and you're stuck from home, you get sick, and you're responsible for the majority of the sales coming into your business. Or you get crunk.
What?
You get crunk.
Okay.
You don't know what to do. God damn, that's annoying.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Okay. So,
yes, I mean,
essentially,
I think there's a couple of things. You can either do 3, you could do 6, you could do 9.
Well played.
Damn, these sales is fine.
Well played. I knew where you were going with that. If you're a sales guy or if you're a business owner, right? So I'm kind of speaking to two different people at the same time. Yeah. So if you're a sales guy, what kind of redundancy do you have within your processes, within your business? And if you're a commission-only sales guy, like you have a business, right? You are a business owner, right? What are you doing to create redundancies? What are you doing to make yourself better? But also if you are a business owner and you're someone who has commission-only sales reps or even salaried sales reps, like how are you making sure that one, all your guys have all the things that they require in order to be successful? How do they are they the people who are the right culture fits long-term? Yep. I actually had a very, very interesting conversation with one of our guys. I won't name him, but he left a little while ago and he went to go be like a sales manager for a big coach, right? He called me up saying, man, we got this recruitment and placement company. They put guys in they're just so green. I just can't really work with them. We need you guys to come in and place some sales reps for us. And I was like, sweet. And I was like, I'm more than happy to take your money, but I was like, you're a sales manager now. And I was like, and you're also a friend of mine and I want the best for you. And like maybe throwing money at this problem is the right answer. And don't get me wrong, if you are throwing it, I want to catch it.
Well, maybe you need to train them.
Well, but I was like, let's have a look at what's happening because I was like, he's like, we just need some killers, right? He's probably listening to this. And I tried to give him a really interesting perspective, which I don't think a lot of people have. Like, and I told him, listen, man, if your business requires killers, because he's a killer, he's a phenomenal salesperson, top 5% in the world type thing, right? And I was like, listen, if your business requires a bunch of you, that's a real problem. Mm-hmm. Because like, that's not a sustainable, like, especially if you're looking for them, you can make them over the next year, right? We can make those guys. If we have the right culture fit, we can put the development in. If we get 5 really good culture fits, we can create 2, maybe 3 killers out of that group, right? Well, but
if you get that culture fit, they also have to have the work ethic.
Yeah.
Right.
Which I kind of assume that's part of the culture fit, right? If you have a culture of development, like you can't come into Sales Sniper and not want to work hard, you're going to get swallowed up pretty quick, right?
Yeah.
So I was like, listen, man, like you need to be able to be successful with mid-tier sales reps, right? Because if you don't, then your marketing sucks. Like if you have to have killers, that means your marketing is weak, right? But like if you've got average marketing and weak or green salespeople, that's not good. And it's going to be really difficult to have any sort of unemotional viewpoint as to what actually is going on. So what we need to do is dive through the data, because what I don't want to do is have you pay me a bunch of money, me find guys who are actually pretty good, who have good potential, put them in your business and they underperform as well, because not only do you have a bit of a sales issue, but you've also got a bit of a marketing issue. And I want to be able to delineate between the two. Like if I put Marco in and he kills it, that doesn't tell me anything.
Yeah, it did.
Right? It just tells me Marco's good at selling. You know what I mean? But if I put like an average salesperson in there, right, and they do fairly well, I go, hey, your marketing's pretty strong. This guy's pretty good. He's doing well. Everything's okay. That's really good. So just trying to provide a different level of insight. And it's like, and I was like, there's three options. I can just find and source new people for you. Two, I can take the guys that you have and we can really throw some time into them. If they're good dudes who you like being around and want to have a beer with and they work hard,
make them better.
Let's just make them better, right? Like the system they've been taught, I think, is not fantastic, right? But it's fine. And then the last one is that I can just have my guys come in and do it for you.
Yeah.
So yeah, but I was like, that's probably not what they want. But yeah, so just providing some insight. We had a meeting today with one of our, I guess, mentors, Michael Chu.
Somewhat, yeah.
Yeah, he runs a business called Champ Dev. They recently acquired Trouble Buyers and
a few other businesses,
like 6 other businesses. And yeah, so we were kind of talking to him about a few different things. We sort of run and manage his sales team and train his guys, and he helps us out with some stuff as well. He's really good at sort of vision stuff. And one of the things that we kind of really realized today that like we probably provide a lot more value. A lot of the stuff that we put out there is just pure sales training stuff, right? But a lot of the stuff we actually do with our clients, because our clients are business owners, not salespeople, is like we coach them on how to have not only effective sales processes, but like how to look at sales in their business a little bit differently, right? And so like, how do we actually use sales as a barometer for the success and like, it's the temp check of how aggressive we can be with the growth of our company.
Yeah, and the potential scalability of it, right? It's funny. It's just like
that's why we've grown so fast, because our business is so sales related.
Yeah,
that like literally only metric that matters for us is how good we are at selling.
Yeah,
hence our model is so different. I told the guy today I was talking to, because I had a meeting with one of our clients to kind of just realign some of them and look to remove some people out of certain parts of the business and just sort of do a little bit of business coaching on certain insights that I had for them. And I was like, your ideal client pays you $2,500 a month. My ideal client pays me $100,000 a month. I was like, so don't compare my growth with yours.
Yeah.
I was like, it doesn't really make sense to do that.
You're comparing apples to oranges and trying to make assumptions that one is better than the other or one has more potential when it's not true. But like, yeah, as you said, like you can get those insights from sales as well as from marketing, but there's a very larger scale understanding of what to do with that information and how to utilize it to make proper decisions. And that's a skill set that you can have sales, but there's so many factors where, you could look at close rate, make decisions on that. But, an average business owner would make a decision on close rate. But to gauge like the potential of scalability, you have to ask like, what are the factors that are affecting close rate?
Exactly. Right? And it's the nuance that actually gives you the idea. One of the business owners came to me and said, man, you guys are only closing at 10%. And I was like, yeah, I know. He goes, what's going on? I was like, oh, the guy's a killer. It's nothing to do with sales.
Yeah.
And he was like, what do you mean? I was like, well, like you have no lead flow. So we're putting literally everyone who comes to us into a sales call.
Yeah.
Right. Literally everybody. Right. Which means that like we're putting people who have like 90% of the people we see have no business having a sales call, but we have no volume. So it's like, let's say let's say of the people, and we can look at that because we have a lead quality metric from is it 1 to 5 or 0 to 5?
0 to 5.
0 to 5.
Well,
right?
0 is just like they no show.
Yeah.
You didn't actually speak to them, so you
So I
can't
have
gauge
it essentially from 1 to 5, right? Now, normally what we try and do is book 3, 4s, and 5s into sales calls, and then 1s and 2s would just go into like a long-term farming where they never go into a sales call. But in famine levels, right? You know what I mean? Like your priorities change a little bit and you go, okay, well, hey guys, do we actually care about close rate or do we just want maximal sales? Let's say I close 1 in 15 of a 1 because like they're literally just incredibly unqualified, barely even in the niche. They're just random people who clicked on something. Yeah. Right. If I close 1 in 15, but I'm closing 70% of my 4s and 5s, 50% of my 3s. Right? Overall, my close rate would be like 20%, which is not good. It's like, it's fine. Not from triage. That's not good. Yeah. Right. So, but we would then get, we could then take out the 1s and the 2s and we can go, hey, look, we're closing at 65%. Are you happy with that? Sweet. Now these people have been pre-identified as very, very low quality or low chance, but because we've booked 15 of those and sold 1, you got an extra sale. We spent 15 hours doing that work. Are you happy with us? Because I'm happy not to do the 15 hours. But do you want that sale? Yes, I do. Okay, then shut your mouth, right? And just let me do my thing. Like I'm making choices, right? Now, if someone is struggling to make sales, we can identify that and fix it, right? Like we can just fix it. Like it's honestly not that difficult, right? And we can move people around and we can figure out what's going right, what's going wrong. We can usually within 2 weeks identify problems, fix problems, put the person out into the wild again, and they can go out there and hunt, right? But if we're making choices, it's like, it doesn't really need to be a thing.
Yeah, it's also really good, particularly on a new offer. We do that anyway, because those ones, you don't have to be perfect. You can mess around, you can try different tactics, see how things work, play around with different things, and use that as pure practice for objection handling.
This is actually a really good thing that grinds my gears. I should do a segment.
You know what grinds my gears?
Grinds my gears, and then have it like it's behind a desk, like Peter Griffin.
Yeah.
have the gears. Like this grinds my gears. All right. Anyway,
let's get you animated.
Yeah, that's a great idea. Okay, yeah, it's getting expensive.
You know what really grinds my gears?
Put that out, by the way, Charlie. That's fine.
No, you leave it in, Charlie. What really grinds my gears is like when, like new sales reps, especially even experienced sales reps, like they're not that busy, they're not making that much money, and they complain about like underqualified leads. It's like, yeah, I understand that can be annoying, but it's a tremendous opportunity to get better. Like if you want to get really good at fighting, probably spar against people who are really good, right? So when you get in the ring, you know what I mean? Like you know what's going on. And so like, I think that people just like, I hate the term mindset. I don't hate it, but it's just like, they just look at things the wrong way. It's like, instead of looking at it as an annoyance, look at it as an opportunity. Like, cause it really is like the only reason why I'm like, I consider myself like one of the things in sales that I know I'm very good at is objection handling. I know I'm really good at it, right? Like I got that way because I sold a lot of broke people. And it's like, that's the only way you're going to get good at it. Like you can theorize objection handling all you want, and I can script it out for people, but for people to sit there and do it in real time, they need practice. And it's like, that's why that term strong marketing makes weak sales. It's really true. And vice versa. Really strong sales makes weak marketing. So, but I think it's like, if you can be very conscious of the activities that are going on. And I really think like, I don't hear many people talking about these things, about like the decisions that are made within a sales cycle and sales process that are business decisions. And everyone's just trying to increase close rate or increase sharp rates. Like, yeah, those are all good things to try and do. But like, I don't want close rates at 80, 90%. That means we're not charging enough. It means we don't have enough volume.
It means it's too
right?
easy.
It's too easy. Let's turn the volume up in the leads and let's lower the qualification, or so we can get more people, or let's ramp the price up, right? Because if we can close at 90% on a 10K offer, let's go to 12, see what happens. If it's 80% at 12, perfect. Let's go to 14. If it's 70% at 14, sweet. Let's go to 18. It's 50%. Sweet. Okay, well, I was at 10. Now I'm at 18. I'm closing at 50% instead of 80. So I'm actually making the same money, but I have half the clients.
What do you think is like optimal close rate? Like for
65.
us in the business, awesome. We're on the same page. I was literally going to say 65.
65 is perfect, right? Like if you can get, this is post triage. That's not like one call close killering stuff like that. Like that's a little bit different. It's going to be a different metric.
Less always.
Yeah, it's going to be less. Like if you can hit 40% on a one call close straight to sale, that's fantastic, right?
That's equivalent to 90 for us. So
yeah, it's really good because like you just have, unless you have like heaps of conditional logic that just weeds everyone who's not like ready to buy money in hand type stuff out. But
if you're closing at 40% on a one call close and they paid a deposit to be on that call, you probably suck.
Like if you can get 65%, that means that I think like you're optimizing everybody's opportunity and you're pushing the limits of like what you're going to be able to pay, you know, because in my opinion, like more money, less clients is better. The business is more scalable. It's less administrative burden on the business. The sales guys are still like, they don't feel like their time's being wasted, but they're still like having to push to get the sales. Like, again, like that's why we raised the prices for 7th level. We also altered the program. So we raised the prices, but tweaked the program to be a lot better, to be a lot more scalable, a lot better, a lot more infrastructure, a lot more help, right? So we kind of had to raise the price, but also the guys are closing at like 90%, right? So it's like the marketing is super good. It's like now what we have to do is keep raising the prices. So if you're out there and you're thinking about turning 7th level, it is going to incrementally go up nearly every month, right? Until I get enough pushback to where I stop doing it.
Would you even consider it marketing or would you consider it a sales process?
Well, it's both, right? So the process that generates the interest is the marketing. And then once they're a registered interest, then it becomes a sales process, right? So like we do marketing in the group, we do content to create engagement. Then from there, they reach out, we create a problem. Then from there, boom. Now, once that person's in like an active DM conversation, that's now a sales process, right?
Yeah.
So, but yeah, the marketing, it's the best marketing we have of any account that we're on.
Yeah.
Because and we do it.
Because we control it. It's our content.
We control it a lot.
Yeah. We have the power to make the decisions that we want to.
Yeah.
As the people running the sales process.
And we can ramp budgets. And, you know, I went super aggressive on the budgets in one of the months. It didn't work out at all because we had an ads team that was a bit subpar, but that's a whole different question. Yep. You know, I okayed them for like 35,000 or 40,000 for the month. I was like, let's go, baby.
Yeah.
And then we got a new guy on, Charlie. Shout out to Charlie Valor from Valor Media. Crushes Facebook group lead generation. And he got our Facebook
link
group.
Link will be in the description. Charlie.
Yeah. And he literally like, I had to convince him to do it. And he got our group joins down to all. They were at like $42 a join. He got them down to like sub $10.
Yeah, I think he shaved $40 on average, right? Because our cost goes up as the content that we're doing starts to get old and watched a lot. So we usually come in at about like $4 and it increases out to $7 as those ad sets get used, as opposed to the other guy who was sitting around like the 42 to 50.
I thought about sending him the metrics and being like, man, you should like, I really like you, but we should hop on a call and we should go over like, how is this guy doing this so much better? You know what I mean?
Kind of petty. I feel like that's more of a petty move.
No. Like to actually help him out.
Okay.
You know what I mean? To be like, hey man, like let's have a chat because this is anyway. It doesn't matter. But.
Depends on the person of how they take feedback and critique. You know, some people would love that, others would hate it.
Yeah.
Good question. Yeah. You know him better than me. So.
Yeah, it's interesting, right? Because we're on both sides. So we're on a coaching company, 7th level, right? First 500K a month. What to do? Right? Happy days. We on the commission only agency. What's the other thing we're doing?
I think it starts with an R. What's
recruitment?
That's it. Yeah. Placement. No, recruitment.
Yeah. So now we're recruiting sales reps, right? So really, like, you know, a lot of our content, we're going to start to steer in different directions. So that we're going to really focus on two things, which we really focus very hard on one thing, which is just content just for salespeople. Now we're going to keep doing that content, but then add more content, which is around like business owner stuff. So we might talk about the owning of coaching businesses and sales processes within the stuff. But I think it's important for sales guys to hear that stuff, because I think sales guys tend to like wrap themselves in bubble wrap, and like they don't understand like gross margins versus net margins and like what their commission, like if you take a 20% commission, right? And don't get me wrong, like I'm all for taking high commissions. I think what you get, I think what you provide and what you get given by the business is going to dictate it. Like if you get a setter, for example, you can't take 20%, because now your comm is also, there has to be a comm for the setter. So if you have setters, immediately knock 5% off, right? So now the max you're going to get is like 15, because now there's multiple mouths to feed. Also, like if that person is also doing like paid ads and organic, and they're doing all the strategy for that, like you're going to knock it down again, because now they're going to be giving you multiple streams with lots of value. So like the more volume a business can give you, right? And the more infrastructure they have around you, the less money you're going to make per sale. Right? Just fucking hands down. But the more opportunity you have, the more development you have, the more career trajectory you have, right? Trajectory you have, because there is that infrastructure. There is that there's that support team around you. But like, man, like if you're just a lone warrior out there doing your thing, you can get 20% for sure, right? But if you're not a lone warrior, and usually the 20% is reserved for small businesses that like rely heavily on the closer to do their own setting, their own dialing, their own lead gen as well, like where they're out there kind of like calling all the old leads and that kind of stuff. And sometimes you can even get to 30% if you're actually generating your own leads as well, where you're doing like cold outreach, right? Yeah. So like, you know, there's different ways to skin that cat, but I really think like, you know, for sales guys who aren't really businessmen out there, 20% of the gross is probably more than that business owner is going to pull out from that client.
Yeah. Like we've spoken, we actually, like, now that I think about it, we speak about business a lot more than what we think we do, and particularly on these podcasts. And it's really good because, you know, to this point, we've really specialized in coaching and consulting sales. And I think as a salesperson, you have to understand business when you're selling business opportunity, or you're selling business consulting, business coaching, advertising, or whatever, because that just feeds into the congruency, right? Yeah. You have to know that stuff to understand the pain points better. You have to understand the pain points to understand where to dig. Yeah. To understand where to dig to identify the real objections. You have to identify the real objections to handle them effectively. Exactly. So it is. And, you know, we've really come to that realization that we understand business just as well, if not better, than what we do on the specific sales thing, because whilst we do the done for you sales, we're more than that. We've been consulting and running the sales team and running the entire front end of businesses. And we have conversations very regularly about the back end of some of the businesses we're in and go, how is this so bad? So often it's like, this is related to, and then we suggest that they do it and things work better. Yeah. So yeah, we've literally come to the realization. I
think we're getting there. I think our mentor Barry has a lot to do with that. Like we Absolutely. Barry's if he's listening, he's a very, very Bagdi Magladidi. He's a guy that I gave equity in the business right when we started. And you know, like we get
a lottery ticket for him, right?
Yeah. I mean, he's got a few lottery tickets, but yeah, like he has a deep understanding of business, and he's exited from businesses and stuff like that. And so like he doesn't, it's a really interesting coaching relationship, right? Because like he doesn't actually tell us what to do. No. But he asks the questions and makes us create the mental space in order to come up with the answers, which is a more useful thing. You know?
He points us into a direction to solve the problem ourselves.
Yeah. And so then you have an understanding of the process that you use to solve it. Then from there you go out and solve it. So he'll just have a look and go, hey guys, your gross profit margins are not looking fantastic.
Okay. Okay. Why is that? What caused it? What can we do about it? What action?
And then I'll go, what we need to do from here is we need to have a look at potential ideas to increase our gross, to do this, this, and this. So he's like, I would like you to do that.
And then we do it.
And then you go, okay. And then all of a sudden, because he knows how my brain works, and my brain, like, I like problem solving. And so he'll go and then go, you need to go away. You need to think of like a couple of ideas to do this. And I'll come back and I go, these are my ideas. And they go, okay, which one fits up with our mission, our vision, our values? Which one fits with the infrastructure that we have? Which one is the easiest one to execute? Okay, let's do that. Now let's make that into a project. Let's assign roles and responsibilities. And that's where the placement came from.
Yeah, we should be due for a chat with him next week, I imagine.
Yeah, I always look forward to them. I sent him to one of our clients the other day, and I got a call from him like an hour later. It was like, what the did that guy just do to us?
I spoke to him this morning. I'm like, hey, I heard you had your soul ripped out.
Yeah, Barry's good at
that. That's funny. Right?
Anyway, we should get Barry do an interview in the Facebook group.
I think we had a podcast with him very early on when our quality was poor and we had no idea what we're doing. Don't watch it, but maybe we should do it again.
Yeah, we're just watching the background on mute. Just to get us the views, baby. All right, guys, that's all we got time for today, though. A little bit of an interesting one. We're in lockdown, so we're a little bit disjointed. The quality won't quite be as good, but whatever. You guys aren't here for quality content. You're just here to see our pretty faces. So.
Well, I mean, what we say is quality enough.
All right, guys. Thanks for your time. Make sure if you're watching this on YouTube, you like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Make sure that you go to the Facebook group with the closing code. And if you want to check out what we have, go to salessniper.net and you can download some free resources like the objection handling matrix. I believe the follow-up handling matrix is coming out soon. A 49-page document on whole things follow-up. I think we might charge like $20 for that, though. It only took us 6 months to put together.
I also have a book coming. It's going to be exciting around development.
Do you? Oh yeah, that one. Okay, cool. Yeah,
I was going to be a surprise, but I broke it accidentally.
I know.
I got excited and wanted to show you.
Yeah, that was really good. All right, guys, we'll catch you later. Bye.
Bye.
Put that coffee down. Coffee's for closers only.